it's Mrs Gaia from Gaia Health Store, and I'm joined with Sarah Williams from Organic Aromatherapy, and she's going to talk us through her Soul Harmony Chakra Cream, and it's the Throat Chakra Cream today. So tell us about the throat. I think it's kind of obvious where it is on the body.
It takes in the neck and the shoulders as well as the throat.
Okay.
And because Emma's wearing blue, I'm going to suggest that she puts a little bit of Throat Chakra Cream on, because I reckon that when Emma got dressed this morning, she knew that she had a bit of a throat chakra thing going on. Did you have a stiff neck this
Yes.
week? Well, that indicates anything to do with the neck and the shoulders, just in there.
Yeah.
So if you put this on, you can put it on if you want.
That's a question, actually. I know when you first developed the creams, did you say to people try and locate it in the vicinity of the chakra, but now we don't need to do that. Just explain why that sort of changed as you developed.
Yeah. Well, when I first started developing these creams back in 1995, I used to think that you had to put them on the chakra, but then I discovered something called Aura Vision, which is where you can photograph and film the 7 chakras. So we've only got technology at the moment to photograph and film 7. Although obviously that technology will come online and we'll be able to look at more later. But I discovered that if you put a little blob on the backs of the hands, you rub the backs of the hands together, then you're advising both the left side of your body, which is the feminine side, and the right side of the body, which is the masculine, that the essential oils are absorbed by the body, taken to the right part of the frequency of the body, disperse the blockage, allow the energy to flow, and therefore it heals that area. So if you have an issue to do with sore throat or neck and shoulders, then it's more about a blockage in that area. So by applying the Throat Chakra Cream, you're going to disable the blockage, or let's say disperse the blockage, allow that to then flow, and actually you can have very difficult conversations, or an interview, or a presentation, or anything that you might want to share, something that's been creative. So if you want to dance or sing or cook or be creative in some way, manifest something, you know, whatever that may be, anything that you want to manifest, you can use this, and it's going to actually write, you know, if you're doing articles or anything, or if you're doing your lovely videos, or if you know, for work, you know, all of these things, or wanting, you know, to, as I say, have a difficult conversation, put some of that on. If you like the smell, or you can't smell it, you need it. If you've got a sore throat or a little frog in the throat, just put a little, you know, that kind of a frog in the throat, rub a bit on the backs of the hands, and sure enough, you'll be able to communicate more freely, because it'll come from the heart, nice and clearly, without being shut down. Because so many of us, Emma, do you find, in England particularly, are very shut down in the throat chakra issue, like don't express how you feel. And I know your hubby is from Portugal, and he would express.
Oh yeah.
And Mediterranean people express how they feel, but you know what? It's not that they don't have, you know, sort of like things like heart attacks and cancer to the level that we do in England, because in England we're told, shut up, don't express yourself, big boys don't cry. And if I speak to someone at a funeral in England, they're like, it's okay, I held it together, I didn't cry.
I know. Do you know what? Andre came to a couple of English funerals, and he was like, what's wrong with everyone? I didn't hold back from crying. I've never cared what people think. But he was like in shock, because he was like, oh my goodness, you go to a Latin funeral, people are howling, they're like not letting the coffin go down. It's like, it's a whole part of the cathartic process and helping you move on. But in England, it's like you're praised for keeping a stiff upper lip. It's like, what's that all about?
Well, it's about heart attacks for one, and cancer, you know, because you're not expressing yourself. So if you don't express, then you're going to block yourself from expressing. Now, what do trapped heavy emotions do? Well, trapped heavy emotions will end up in you having heaviness in the liver, which is anger. You can block fear in the kidneys, grief in the lungs, bitterness in the gallbladder, and the giving and receiving of sweetness in life in the pancreas. So if you don't keep this chakra flowing, which is one of the linchpins, the keys to the entire of the range, the soul harmony range, chakra range, if you don't keep that flowing, then you are likely to be internalizing and blocking your flow of natural creativity, communication, venting, health, and wellness, and actually causing yourself more problems down the line. So if you're just going to start your kit off with just a couple of creams, then those are the two: base and throat. Feel safe and secure and express yourself. They're the most important. So sore throat, adenoids, tonsillitis,
Thyroid issues.
thyroid issues.
Didn't you have thyroid issues?
Hypothyroidism. I came off thyroxine 10 years ago and I've never felt better. I felt at my sickest when they diagnosed me 30 years ago with hypothyroidism and they gave me levothyroxine. But with support of good nutrition, which you can get from Gaia,
food, from us, yes,
and my creams, I was able to come off the thyroxine that they'd had me on for 25 years, and they told me that I would be dead if I did that. Now I just lost 3 dress sizes, which I couldn't stop. I was like up to about size 18, seriously, in a wheelchair.
Wow.
I dropped it in 2 months. I went down to a size 12, and I didn't lose my hair, and I didn't get deaded.
Deaded.
And I'm still alive, and you know, I feel so good these days. So you know, there are natural ways of looking after yourself, and that don't always include, you know, the allopathy route or the big pharma route. And Emma and I certainly would
advocate for
it,
that. Yeah,
advocate it.
exactly. And you really like walk your talk. Like, you've been there with health issues, emotional issues. Like, these are channeled, you know, from love, from experience, and yeah, they're just going from strength to strength, and you're still getting downloads and information about how they're used daily.
Absolutely, they are being channeled through me. I just try to keep myself as clear as possible as a channel, and it is my soul's job to do this work. But the oils that influence this particular blend are, this is Emma's particular favourite phrase, the influencers are not only...
What does it smell like?
What does it smell like, love? It smells like Raven Zara, which is...
What's that?
Yeah, right. It's similar to tea tree, but it's got a less medical...
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because I can't smell that tea tree-ness. Yeah.
Spiked lavender, as opposed to all the other lavenders, marjoram and grapefruit. So those are the oils which are the main influences of this. But of course you could use other things like, you know, clothes and scarves and, you know, blue lace agate elixir and all sorts of things. But I just like to keep it easy and simple. If I've got a communication I need to make, or I feel a bit sore throat, then I'll work a little bit of that on, and it's easy to communicate and I haven't got a sore throat anymore.
Amazing. Look at that, a mighty pot. So
Pots
I think
of
that's, yeah, pots of power. So I think that's covered it. Not entirely, we can talk forever, but that is a snapshot of what the Throat Chakra Soul Harmony Cream can do for you.